Somebody's always going to be last picked. This is true in sports teams and in action figures, where despite any toy maker's best efforts, there's going to be a character that isn't as popular as the rest. And when all the other characters are gone, they're still there. That is the peg warmer. Good day, this is Toy Ventures, and we're going to count down the top 10 70s peg warming action figures. Number 10, Arnold Horshack from the Mattel Welcome Back Kotter line. It's fair to say that not many of the Welcome Back Kotter figures were a success for Mattel, other than possibly Binny Barbarina, who did sell out everywhere. The socially awkward young man was the least popular Sweat Hog action figure and hung on shelves sometimes until the 1980s. Number 9, Draco from the Mego Buck Rogers line. While the Mego Buck Rogers line was a success, the character of Draco was cut from the theatrical release of the film and was only mentioned on the television series. He never appeared. It's kind of hard for kids to get excited about an old man action figure that they don't see on the screen. This is not Ben Kenobi. Ardala's father had a big red Child World discount sticker in his future. Number 8. R5-D4 from the Kenner Star Wars line. Yes, there were Star Wars characters that didn't sell all that terribly well in the lull between Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. I am working from memory as a child, and of course mileage varies depending on where you lived, but I can remember my local Woolco had a wall of nothing but R5-D4. Kids were not interested in a droid that breaks down as much as they were in another Luke or a Stormtrooper. Number 7, Friar Tuck from the World's Greatest Merry Man collection by Mego. As a kid, I never saw any of the other Merry Men, but I would always find Friar Tuck. He was definitely the last picked character in the series. I would have never known Mego made Robin Hood as a kid had I not seen this character like in 1978, still on discount. Number 6, Professor Bergman from the Mattel Space 1999 series. Actor Barry Morse's Professor Bergman gave Space 1999 a much-needed bit of gravitas, as he was an excellent actor, but he really wasn't an exciting action figure for kids to have. Compound that with the fact that by the time the action figures were released, Barry Morse had left the show, replaced by the much more exotic and action figure-worthy Maya. Number 5, Chopper from the Mego Starsky and Hutch line. Mego's Starsky and Hutch line was so popular they actually added 3 characters to it in 1978, and that included generic bad guy Chopper. Kids really didn't care for this caveman in a striped sweater with tights. They just had Starsky and Hutch beat up the Joker and Riddler. Number 4, technically this is from 1980, just humor me, Harry Booth from the Mego Black Hole line. Kids don't want to play with Ernest Borgnine. They like robots. Sorry, Ernie. Number 3, Mr. Mxyzptlk from the World's Greatest Superheroes line. The supervillains were released in 1974, and kids grabbed the Riddler, Joker, and Penguin with both hands, having seen them on the 1966 Batman series and several cartoons. Their choice of villain for Superman was certainly colorful, but kids really didn't know who he was and didn't care. I personally remember my Dominion Playworld store having a wall of these in 1982, and there were no takers. Okay, I bought one. Number 2, Imperious Leader from the Mattel Battlestar Galactica collection. Despite being the leader of the Cylons in the film, Imperious Leader didn't really do much. He didn't even stand. And then, add insult to injury, he's sort of replaced by Baltar in the series, so kids just let him hang on the shelf indefinitely, choosing much cooler characters like Starbuck, the Cylons, and the Ovions. That is one cool-looking action figure. Before we get to number 1, I just want to mention that Toy Ventures magazine Indiegogo ends tomorrow. It's already 100% funded, but if you are interested in picking up the exclusive AHI Super Monster buttons with the premiere issue, act now. Toy Ventures is a magazine that will be based on toys and action figures from the 1970s and 80s, and will feature a lot of the content of this channel. Thank you for looking. And our number one is Lieutenant Ilia from the Mego Star Trek The Motion Picture Collection. A great deal of the merchandise for Star Trek The Motion Picture featured this new character, an alien from the planet Delta. And basically, as kids, we just wanted Kirk and Spock. And we really didn't seem to care. No matter what the format, be it 3 3/4 inch or 12 inch, Ilia was on that shelf with a big red sticker in clearance. I personally bought one of these in 1987 at a Simpsons department store. It was still there. Despite being a Mego fan, I have to declare Lieutenant Ilia as the least popular action figure of the 1970s. So there you have it. These are my choices for the top 10 peg warmers of the 70s. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? What would you change? Let me know in the comments below. Or you can hit me up in my Facebook group, Pod Stallions, where we talk about these kind of important issues and nothing but. Thank you as always for watching. I hope if you're new to this, you'll consider hitting like and subscribe. This is kind of the important topics I handle. Until next time, take care, have fun, and talk toys, not other people.